Hi everybody, hi preschool, hi moms and dads and brothers and sisters. It's Miss Holcast story time, your favorite. So let's do the open shut them. Open shut them, open shut them, give a little clap, clap, clap. Open shut them, put them in your lap, lap, lap. Okay, so today's book is called Strega Nona. Strega Nona. And it's written and illustrated. He did the words and the pictures. His name is Tomie dePaola, and he is one of my favorite authors of all time. If you ever go to the library once the quarantine's over, make sure you look up Tomie dePaola. One of my other favorite books he had, I had it when I was little, is called The Popcorn Book. But his most famous book is Strega Nona. I'm kind of doing this in tribute to him because he was super old and he just passed away. But he was a wonderful storyteller and a brilliant artist, and I really liked him. And Strega Nona, that's her right there. She's the grandma witch. So, I hope you enjoy this book. It's one of my favorite stories. And it's set in Italy, which is a country far away across the ocean. It's where pizza and spaghetti and meatballs came from. Okay, here we go. Let me scoot this back a bit. Okay. In a town in Calabria a long time ago, there lived an old lady everyone called Strega Nona, which meant Grandma Witch. Although all the people in the town talked about her in whispers, they went to see her if they had troubles. Even the priest and the sisters of the convent went because Strega Nona did have a magic touch. So even though they were kind of afraid of her and they thought she was weird, if they had a problem, they went to her. So there's Strega Nona, and the priest, he's like the head guy of the church. And the nuns are his helpers, they're ladies that help him. She could cure a headache with oil and water and a hairpin. She made special potions for the girls who wanted husbands, for the girls who wanted to get married. She would make the potion, the girl would drink it, and she would fall in love. And she was very good at getting rid of warts. So see that dude? He has an ugly wart on his nose, and ta-da, she fixed it. So she's kind of doing this with magic, not with regular medicine or anything like that. But Strega Nona was getting old, and she needed someone to help keep her little house and garden. So she put up a sign in the town square. So she's getting old, and her back hurts and her knees hurt, and she needs somebody to help her do chores and stuff. So she put up a sign that said, Strega Nona needs help. Please call. Please write a letter, and I'll get you a job. And Big Anthony, there's Big Anthony, who didn't pay attention. That means he wasn't good at paying attention and listening to instructions. He went to see her. Anthony said, Strega Nona, you must sweep the house and wash the dishes. You must weed the garden and pick the vegetables. You must feed the goat and milk her, and you must fetch the water. For this, I will give you 3 coins and a place to sleep and food to eat. Oh, thank you. Oh, grazie. That's how you say thank you in Italian. Oh, grazie, said Big Anthony. The one thing you must never do, said Strega Nona, is touch the pasta pot. It is very valuable, and I don't let anyone touch it. Oh, si, yes, said Big Anthony. That's how you say yes in Italian. You say si. So he had to do all of his chores, but don't touch that pasta pot. That's where she cooks her spaghetti, her macaroni. And so the days went by. Big Anthony did his work, and Strega Nona met with the people who came to see her for headaches and husbands and warts. Big Anthony had a nice bed to sleep in next to the goat shed, and he had food to eat. One evening, when Big Anthony was milking the goat, he heard Strega Nona singing. Peeking in the window, he saw Strega Nona standing over the pasta pot. I wonder what's going to happen. Because she is a grandma witch. She's a good witch, though. She sang, bubble, bubble, pasta pot. Boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up. And the pasta pot bubbled and boiled and was suddenly filled with steaming hot pasta. Whoa. So is that normally the way pasta works when you cook it? No, you got to fill up a pot with water. You got to wait like 20 minutes for it to boil. Then you got to put the macaroni in. You got to wait for that to cook for about 10 minutes. And then you got to take it out and you got to put butter and sauce on it and stuff. It takes a long time, but she's got a magic pasta pot, so all she does is say the magic words and boom, there it is. Then Strega Nona sang, "Enough, enough, pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot, so simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." "How wonderful," said Big Anthony. "That is a magic pot for sure." And Strega Nona called Big Anthony in for supper. Too bad for Big Anthony, because he didn't see Strega Nona blow 3 kisses to the magic pasta pot. You see her blowing the kisses? That's the last step of the spell. She has to go, and then it stops. He didn't see that part. Uh-oh. And this is what happened. The next day when Big Anthony went to the town square to fetch the water, he told everybody about the pasta pot. And naturally, everyone laughed at him because it sounded so silly. A pot that cooked all by itself? "Oh, you better go and confess to the priest, Big Anthony," they said. "Such a lie." And Big Anthony was angry, and it wasn't a very good thing to be. "I'll show them," he said to himself. "Someday I'll get the pasta pot and make it cook, and then they'll be sorry." That day came sooner than even Big Anthony would have thought, because 2 days later, Strega Nona said to Big Anthony, "Anthony, I must go over the mountain to see my friend, Strega Amelia. Sweep the house and weed the garden. Feed the goat and milk her. And for your lunch, there are some bread and cheese in the cupboard. And remember, don't touch the pasta pot." "Oh, yes, yes, yes," Strega Nona said to Big Anthony, but inside he was thinking, "My chance has come!" So she's going to see her friend. Anthony's all by himself. He's going to test out that pot. Ooh, it's not a good decision, Big Anthony. As soon as Strega Nona was out of sight, Big Anthony went inside, pulled the pasta pot off the shelf and onto the floor. "Now let's see if I could remember the words," said Big Anthony. And Big Anthony sang, "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot. Boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up." And sure enough, the pot bubbled and boiled and began to fill with pasta. "Aha!" said Big Anthony, and he ran to the town square, jumped on the fountain, and shouted, "Everyone, get forks and plates and platters and bowls. Pasta for all at Strega Nona's house. Big Anthony has made the magic pasta pot work." Of course, everyone laughed, but ran home to get forks and plates and platters and bowls. And sure enough, when they got to Strega Nona's, the pasta pot was so full, it was beginning to overflow. So there they are. They're going to get some pasta. Big Anthony was a hero. Look at all those people eating. He scooped out pasta and filled the plates and platters and bowls. There was more than enough for all the townspeople, including the priest and the nuns of the convent. And some people came back for 2 and 3 helpings, but the pot was never empty. When all had their fill, Big Anthony sang, "Enough, enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot, so simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." But alas, he did not blow the 3 kisses. He didn't see that part, remember? So is the pot going to stop? He went outside to the applause of the crowd. Big Anthony took a bow. He's like, "Thank you, thank you." He was so busy listening to compliments from everyone that he didn't notice the pasta pot was still bubbling and boiling, until a sister from the convent said, "Oh, Big Anthony, look!" And pasta was pouring out of the pot all over the floor of Strega Nona's house, and was coming out the door. Oh, no. That's no good. Big Anthony rushed in and shouted the magic words again, but the pot kept bubbling. He took the pot off the floor, but the pasta kept on pouring from it. Big Anthony grabbed a cover and put it on the pot, and he sat on it. Look. But the pasta raised the cover, and Big Anthony as well, and spilled onto the floor of Strega Nona's house. Oh, man! Look at all that pasta, all that spaghetti. That's crazy. "Stop!" yelled Big Anthony, but the pasta pot did not stop, and if someone hadn't grabbed poor Big Anthony, the pasta would have covered him up. The pasta had all but filled the little house. Out of the windows and through the doors came the pasta, and the pot kept right on bubbling. The townspeople began to worry. "Do something, Big Anthony, do something!" Big Anthony sang the magic song again, but without the 3 kisses, it did no good. By this time, the pasta was on its way down the road, and all the people were running to keep ahead of it. Oh, it's gotten out of control. We must protect our town from the pasta, shouted the mayor. Get mattresses, tables, doors, anything to make a barricade. That means they're going to try to, look, they're trying to block it from coming into town, all that pasta. But that didn't work. The pot kept bubbling and the pasta kept coming. We are lost, said the people, and the priest and the sisters of the convent began praying. The pasta will cover our town! And it certainly would have had Strega Nona not come down the road, home from her visit. She didn't have to look twice to know what had happened. Oh, there's Strega Nona! She's like, oh, Anthony, what'd you do? She sang the magic song and blew the 3 kisses, and with a sputter, the pot stopped boiling and the pasta came to a halt. But then they turned on poor Big Anthony. String him up, the men of the town shouted. They wanted to tie him up and give him some whoopings. Because they were so mad at him. Now wait, said Strega Nona. The punishment must fit the crime. That means what he did wrong, we shouldn't beat him for it or hurt him. We should do something else. And she took a fork from a lady standing nearby, and she held it out to Big Anthony. What do you think she's going to say to Big Anthony? All right, Anthony, you wanted pasta from my magic pasta pot, Strega Nona said, and I want to sleep in my little bed tonight, so start eating. He's got to eat all that pasta. How's he going to feel after that, eating all that pasta? He did. He ate it all. Poor Big Anthony. Look at his stomach. Oh, he has the worst stomachache in the world. But that goes to show you, you should follow directions and listen. And you shouldn't do things you're not supposed to. He wasn't supposed to touch that pot, was he? No. Okay. I love that story. Love, love, love. Okay. I hope you liked it too. Bye.